£70 million star and perfect Varane replacement, Man United's dream defence after transfer overhaul. Manchester United are planning to make changes to their squad this summer, and their defence is going to require its fair share of maintenance. 8 days are all that now stand between Manchester United and the start of the summer transfer window. This summer promises to mark one of the more important windows the club has faced in recent years. Following the arrival of the Ineos group, a raft of changes are expected to take place in preparation for next season. After making long overdue changes in the boardroom, United now need to start making them on the pitch. The club issued its retained list on Wednesday, confirming the likes of Brandon Williams and Charlie McNeil will be following Raphael Varane and Anthony Martial out the door when their contracts expire later this month. Further departures are expected over the course of this summer, so much so they could reach double figures. United need to raise funds through player sales to remain within the boundaries of the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, PSR. Each area of the team is expected to come under the microscope, not least the defence, which is in need of a shake-up. There could be a hive of transfer activity across the back line, and Men's Sport has taken a close look at how many deals may need to be completed to rebuild the perfect rearguard. Outgoings. United have already announced that Varane and Williams will be leaving the club upon the expiry of their contracts at the end of this month. They will join Alvaro Fernandez in leaving Old Trafford, following Benfica's decision to sign him on a permanent basis last month. Varane's time at Old Trafford has reached a natural conclusion, meaning it is in United's best interests to get him off the books. Williams and Fernandez were never likely to have long-term futures at the club, meaning it also makes sense to move them on. Releasing 2 and selling 1 so far, more exits need to come to fruition. Both Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Victor Lindelof are about to enter the final 12 months of their deals after one-year options were triggered back in December. Wan-Bissaka, despite making 30 appearances in 2023-24, would generate a small fee for United, in turn freeing up a space in the squad for a new right-back to come in and challenge Diogo Dalot. Lindelof is in a similar position, in the sense his time at the club has run its course and he would generate a fee ahead of potentially being lost for nothing a year down the line. Will Fish also needs offloading permanently after spending the last 2 seasons on loan at Hibernian. He has been linked with several championship sides. There is also scope for United to send Harry Amas out on loan at some point next season. The talented 17-year-old offered plenty of promise at youth level in 2023-24, and it could be in his best interests to see if he can secure some regular first-team football elsewhere, perhaps in the EFL. Incomings. With up to 6 defenders leaving Old Trafford via one form or another over the summer, United will need to plug those gaps with new faces. Varane's exit leaves a gaping hole in the heart of the back four, and most United fans anticipate he will be replaced by a first-choice, right-sided centre-back to partner Lisandro Martinez. United, as reported by the Manchester Evening News, are targeting the additions of 2 centre-backs this summer and have identified Gerard Branthwaite of Everton, Juventus Gleison Bremer, and Bayer Leverkusen ace Edmund Tapsoba as options. They have also been linked with Sporting Lisbon's Goncalo Inacio and highly rated Lille youngster Lena Yoro. Each member of that quintet would expect to be a regular starter at United, meaning it is unlikely the club would sign 2 players from that list. They would be more likely to sign one of them as a star addition and then look for a backup option. As for the right-back berth, United would have to replace Wan-Bissaka with a well-rounded operator, who is capable of defending and attacking in equal measure. Wan-Bissaka is more polished defensively than Dalot, whereas the latter is better than the former going forward. United need to source someone who meets those 2 in the middle. On the opposite side of the back four, Luke Shaw's and Tyrell Malacia's injury struggles in 2023-24 mean the club may be forced into shopping for another left-back. But with Shaw still held in very high regard when fit, it makes that particular puzzle not so easy to solve. Furthermore, if United decide against sending Amas out on loan and want to gradually integrate him even further into the first-team squad instead, for left-backs would be too many. It would be both unhealthy and unnecessary. How the defense could look. If United offloaded 6 defenders and brought in 4, they would be left with 2 right-backs, 6 centre-backs and 3 left-backs. The centre-back pool would consist of 2 new signings, Harry Maguire, Willy Kambwala, Johnny Evans, who is in discussions over a new contract, and Martinez. United, of course, would be wise to have plenty of strength in depth after their injury crises in the 2023-24 campaign, but 6 central defenders could be excessive. The prospect of Evans extending his stay may need reviewing. United's new-look defence after 11 deals. Right-backs, Dalot and 1 new signing. Centre-backs, Martinez, Maguire, Kambwala, Evans and 2 new signings. Left-backs, Shaw, Malaysia and 1 new signing. Man United took push forward on 2 midfield targets with 20-year-old left-back on the radar. Latest Manchester United transfer news includes updates on Wolves star João Gomes, Benfica midfielder João Neves and Bournemouth defender Milos Kerkez. Manchester United are facing a potentially huge summer of change as the summer transfer window approaches. Casemiro is being linked with a move away from Old Trafford, with at least 3 clubs from Saudi Arabia reported to be interested. With Casemiro's future uncertain beyond the summer, United seem to be preparing for life after the Brazilian and are reportedly considering a swoop for Wolverhampton Wanderers star João Gomes. According to Give Me Sport, the club are set to push forward with plans to sign 2 midfielders this summer. Gomes is said to be among those on their shortlist, though it remains to be seen whether United will approach Wolves. Benfica's João Neves is also of interest for the United hierarchy, but the Portuguese giants are demanding a fee in excess of £85 million, €100 million. Such a fee could prove difficult for United to match without serious sales given their FFP concerns. Pundit Micah Richards appears to be a fan of Gomes, having previously said of the Brazilian, seeing him up close and personal, his touches, his anticipation when he's winning the ball back and his weight of ball forward. Sorry Wolves fans, he's going to the top, that lad. Elsewhere, United are looking to reinforce their options at left-back given injuries wrecked Luke Shaw's 2023-24 season and also saw backup Tyrell Malaysia miss the entirety of the campaign. According to Fabrizio Romano, United have identified Milos Kerkez and the Bournemouth defender is one of the players the club are monitoring, though talks are yet to take place. Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola has previously highlighted the Serbian's importance to his squad, saying of his performance in the Cherries' 2-2 draw against United in April, "Milos has, I think, played a hell of a game. He has been really good defensively. He has been really good going forward. He has played more forward, and I think these kind of games where he finds more spaces, he can make his runs, carry the ball, find it 2 against 1 outside. I think it suits him very well." Kerkez made 28 appearances for the Cherries during the 2023-24 campaign, with 22 of those being as a starter. Manchester United are giving Roy Keane what he wanted, but there's a £229 million problem. 6 months ago, Keane said he'd like to see 10 players shown the exit door at Man United. He might just get his wish, when Roy Keane admitted he'd like to see Manchester United get rid of 10 of their first-team squad back in December. The club were just 3 points off the top 4 and still had a chance of qualifying for the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Not one to dissimulate his true feelings, who knows how many of the current United crop Keane would march to the chopping block, having seen them finish 8th in the Premier League after being knocked out of Europe entirely before Christmas. Speaking on the Stick to Football podcast just a few days shy of 6 months ago, Keane named big money signings Antony, Jadon Sancho, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof among the players he would like to see leave the club. All could conceivably be on their way out of Old Trafford this summer, though Maguire's Old Trafford renaissance may have extended his Reds career. The aforementioned quartet were joined in Keane's scolding by 3 signings: Christian Eriksen and Johnny Evans, 2 players who could also depart this summer, though the latter remains in contract talks with the club. Add Fiorentina bound Sofian Amrabat to the list along with confirmed departees Raphael Varane and Anthony Martial, and suddenly Keane's wish doesn't look too far off potentially becoming reality. Diogo Dalot, United's 2023-24 Player of the Year, looks the only player named by Keane who is certain to be at the club next summer. Though even he didn't make United's 4-man untouchable list. While Keane can sit and scoff croissants and tell the club who to offload like any other fan, the fact his list of the 10th of May not be too far from the truth doesn't bode well for United. Taking Amrabat's £8.5 million loan fee into account and classing Martial generously as a £38 million signing, despite more than £20 million in add-ons being included in the deal to bring him to the club, the 10 players named cost United roughly £369 million. Were they all to leave this summer, with Varane and Martial already confirmed to be heading for pastures on free transfers, only 2 players would realistically fetch more in transfer fees than United paid for them, and one of them is on a technicality with Eriksen signing for nothing. It would not be unrealistic for Eriksen to fetch £5 million with a year left on his deal, while it would surely take at least £40 million for the club to entertain offers for the much improved Dalot. Evans could leave for free, Amrabat's loan has ended, and with just 1 year remaining on his deal, United would be foolish to turn down anything around £10 million for Lindelof. That leaves the 3 most expensive players on Keane's list: Antony, Sancho and Maguire. Maguire rejected a £30 million move to West Ham last summer, and although he's enjoyed a solid campaign, he is now a year older and a year closer to his contract expiring. A similar figure would represent a respectable offer. £30 million is the fee being bandied about with regards to prizing Sancho away from United, with the club keen to recoup as much of the £73 million they paid for him just 3 years ago. The £85.5 million signing of Antony will surely go down as one of the worst in Premier League history unless something dramatic happens over the coming years, and if United's new power brokers can fetch anywhere near £25 million for the former Ajax man, it will be a ringing endorsement of the Ineos regime. If you're still with us, the above projected fees would amount to just £140 million, a whopping £229 million loss on United's original investment. The optics for United aren't great. In a world where profit and sustainability has become part of footballing lexicon, such a seismic loss would need addressing, and, to their credit, such errors in the market are exactly what Ineos have set about fixing. Keane might get what he wants this summer, but it would come at a very high price. Who is Milos Kerkez? £15.5 million defender, wanted by Manchester United amid defence transfer overhaul. Latest Manchester United transfer news and gossip as Bournemouth defender Milos Kerkez emerges as a potential target for United this summer. Bournemouth defender Milos Kerkez is the latest name to be linked with a move to Manchester United. The summer transfer window is yet to officially open, but United are already being credited with an interest in several potential new signings. Centre-back is an area of the squad where the Reds are known to be looking for reinforcements to arrive at Old Trafford this summer, but it could also be the same for other areas of the defence. Journalist Fabrizio Romano reported earlier this week that United are monitoring Kerkez with a view to making a move this summer. However, it has also been stated that Bournemouth would likely demand a high transfer fee in order to let the 20-year-old leave. So what do we know about the latest player to be linked with United? Kerkez is 20 years old and plays left-back for Bournemouth. He is also a Hungary international, having already earned 15 caps for his country. United already have 2 recognised left-backs in their squad, Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia. However, Shaw struggled with several injuries last season, while Malacia missed the entire campaign with a knee injury. Kerkez has progressed through the youth ranks at several clubs across Europe, including Rapid Vienna and AC Milan, among others, before eventually joining AZ Alkmaar in January 2022. He would spend just 18 months in the Eredivisie before completing a deal reportedly worth £15.5 million. What has been said about Milos Kerkez amid United transfer links? Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola has previously outlined how impressed he's been with Kerkez in the defender's first season in the Premier League and believes there is still more to come. Kerkez, has been playing a lot of minutes, for someone of his age, because he is really young. He told the Daily Echo in March he has had just 1 injury, which was quite a big injury, but he has recovered and is playing the minutes. It is part of his evolution as a player. He is very young. He has come to the Premier League in an age that normally you don't have a chance. I think he is doing well. He is now starting more games, without Lloyd Kelly, but he has to continue his learning process, because he is still very young.